Hi, my name is Theresa and welcome to my new channel. This is your planetary energy update where I talk about the rays of light entering into the planet and what opportunities they bring into your life and how they translate into patterns from the human collective. So at the end of this video, I happen to mention tools that provide you with support through these particular shifts. And for more day-to-day energy shift updates, like in the moment as I'm, naturally noticing them happening, try following my social media. So those links are down below as well. So welcome to mid-September, and this is a totally different feeling this month compared to July and August, which were far more compact and trying, and it was a period of time where many people ended up taking some time off due to exhaustion. This was particularly true for people that have been known to be giving a whole lot. These are a lot of your healers. It's actually happened in a lot of different professions, but I've specifically noticed it happen a lot for healers. It was definitely there for me. And part of this exhaustion came from doing things that we weren't really enjoying anymore, because part of the way forward is doing the sorts of things that bring joy into our own lives, and then also the people that we're serving and the way that we're serving is bringing joy as well. So congrats to those of you who listened to that. Some of us feel like we tried to barrel through and noticed, scheduling was slow, and it's okay. It was a good time to take a break. And some of you were having a totally different experience, and that's okay. I feel like that was in the minority. I feel like most of the people I know were really having to take some time off. So, but all of this is shifting, and many of you have felt it begin to shift about 2 weeks ago. There's been a lot of higher upgrades and light frequencies coming in lately, and here's basically, this report is to let you know how it translates for the human collective. So the rays of light are all source energy, and they're coming in through the sun and coming then to our earth, and then they enter the planet at certain specific spots, and then they go around and they hit the different light grids. So some of you have heard of things like vortexes and sacred sites, and it's all places that are part of the light grid on the planet, so that help light the place up, essentially. So it's kind of, they're showing me it's like stringing lights on a Christmas tree, and it's really pretty, and that's kind of how it all works. So it all ties in together, it's all connected. But basically, these rays of light is all source energy coming in through the sun and coming to our earth, and they bring with them the higher light codes and DNA upgrades, and this is the same source energy that I use in my healing work. So if you're interested in learning more about that, there are options for that, and learning about the different colors and the angels assigned and the ascended masters. So if you've been waiting for what you want, the next 14 to 30 days or so, more 2 weeks to be quite honest with you, but for some people, if there's some necessary delays, these are the times when things are going to be shifting for you to receive the sorts of things that you feel like you've been anticipating. We've all been placed on new timelines, and there was basically an event that the beings of light called the particle convergence, and I talked about this was August 21st. I talked about this in a prior video that you can find on my new channel, and it speaks much more in depth about what that was about if you want to understand how we all ended up on higher timelines. So, which is all a really, really higher frequency timelines, and it was really a good thing for all of us. Now, what that translates into, it doesn't mean that everything shifted in one day in terms of, we're all, it's between now and like December 21st is that time, and that's the particle emergence is when that is particularly happening. And it's so funny because I have all these notes that they have me write down, but then they have, as soon as I start filming, some of the stuff shifts that we're talking about. But one of the things that they want me to discuss is what's happening between now and December 21st are the shifts that are happening to get us onto these newer timelines, which are happier. And some of you are beginning to feel those shifts or are anticipating them happening. Those time over the next 2 weeks are going to be the time of action when things are happening. But I got to tell you, walking into September is a different energy, and for the past 2 weeks, it's sort of like this building of anticipation of what's going to happen, and all kinds of patterns are coming up with that. So some of us feel like they're showing me a lot of times like the collective is feeling like a carrot's being dangled in front of them. It's like just right in front of you. You can see it. But I'm here to tell you, things are coming to fruition. You can have the carrot. You will have the carrot. It's a matter of time. So they're not trying to keep you on this hamster wheel for long. But this is an area, this space is called the void. And this is the period between the in-breath and the out-breath. And it's essentially the calm before the miracle. Some people like to call it the calm before the storm, but the storm just doesn't feel right. It feels like the calm before the miracles. So many of you are hearing the word soon. I know I'm hearing the word soon a lot in communications with spirit. And, soon can't come fast enough for some. And there's others that are anticipating what's happening and are okay with there being a little bit of a pause there, because it's like, oh, I can feel like how fast forward some of this is going to happen so fast. Those things that happen really quickly, it's because the timing's right, you're in alignment with it, the other people around you that may be involved are in alignment with it, and so it's kind of fun. It's almost like that there is a little bit of an adrenaline rush when that stuff happens really quickly, coming into really good stuff, but it always happens at a pace that your soul can handle. And by the way, remember to mention to them that you can slow these things down if it feels like it's too fast. You have free will choice over that. There's some events, though, if it's time for something to end, it's going to end. And you can delay it by a little bit, but then sometimes it comes crashing down. So they're showing me the Tower card in Tarot right now. Some of you are familiar with that. So, in fact, they're telling me there's a lot of you in receiving readings lately or watching videos here on YouTube where a lot of signs are getting the Tower card, and people get nervous about that. But what some readers sometimes forget, and something I like to emphasize, is on the other side of the Tower card are all the really good treasures that you get to have. It's the things that fall apart are never the things that are good for you. It's just the things that are no longer working for you. So it's just some people get a boot, and some people, pay attention to these shifts really early. That's why I see a little bit of difference in timing between when things are shifting. It's okay to be nervous about these shifts. Others are really excited about them, and some people are stating, oh, well, I'm not receiving much insight. Well, sometimes what's happening is if you're feeling really nervous about what there is to come, it can block out some of the inner guidance as to what's happening. So if you can, sit, breathe, get into a healing session if you can, sign up for my 30 Days of Light if you'd like, and this will really help with the shifts through the end of the year. Old patterns of forcing and pushing might be coming up for you because of the feeling of anticipation. Equally as much so, patterns of resistance might, pushing back and that sort of thing. So if it's a relationship thing, one of you may be going, heck yeah, I'm really ready for this to happen. And then the other one might be going, skirt, let me put it on the brakes because this is a little bit much. Both are okay. You're not doing anything wrong in terms of timing here. Everything's going to end up coming to fruition anyway. So these patterns are also coming up to be released, to make room for enjoying fun and, to get used to surprises, to lean a little bit more into uncertainty of timing. That's something I'm seeing a lot of people kind of struggle with that. Other people are saying, well, I just know that something good's going to happen, so I'm going to get distracted over here. Also, many are witnessing a rewiring of the brain happening in terms of our thoughts and our feelings. So it's a continued theme this year in terms of manifestation, because I've been talking about it for about 10 months now, I think. They were saying that was a little bit early for getting on board, but as soon as the idea came through, I did something with it. People responded really well. But our thoughts create. Many of you know this already, and that's why I've been asked to create more of a one-on-one manifesting session so that I can show you where your thoughts are exactly and how to shift through it, because sometimes you're not aware of where those thoughts are, and that's where I come in. And also, there's an in-depth manifestation class that's available on my website as well if you want to know where your thoughts are, how to shift those thoughts. But the one-on-ones are better because I can actually show you where the thoughts are. But if you're aware of where your thoughts are at already, then that course is better for you. So both are on my website. The links are down below in the description box if you're interested. And, manifesting, some people are like, manifestation, we've been talking about this forever. Well, the reason why this is coming more and more online is how we're creating is more coming into a conscious reality. It isn't something where we can say, oh, great, I understand how it works, we'll put it on the back burner. There are certain things that are happening and coming into our reality where we're thinking, okay, I consciously created that. Now, how do I shift out of that? Or how do I turn this boat around and do something different? So that's what we're currently discussing. That's a theme. So what happens is these themes come up and patterns within the collective, and they say, okay, we'd like for you to create a course to support them with that. So that's what I do. So we were talking about the particle convergence and the particle emergence, and this is a special window between now and December 21st. And when we really start to see things coming into a physical reality, things shifting, getting us onto these newer timelines that are of a higher vibration, and things that bring in more light for us. So for some, these dreams are really, really big ones, and can be the things where you've had a lot of resistance, or you maybe at one time thought that you couldn't have these things that would bring you a lot of happiness, like particularly success or a big partnership, or you're owning your own business and that sort of thing. But these things are all coming into view now, and some of you are seeing it and going, oh my gosh, I really get to have this. I really get to do this. I really get to be done with that old relationship that wasn't working. I get to be done with the 9 to 5 and do something different. If you get that idea to do something, that idea is specific to you for a reason. Even if somebody else is titling it the same way, what you're offering is different because of the way you're offering it. Somebody's going to be vibing with you versus somebody else, and that's for a reason. So pay attention to that. Those ideas come to you for a reason. Run with them. So in short, we're being set up for happiness, and there's some energy coming into 2018 where they want us to have our businesses, where they want us to have our partners, where they want us living in certain locations where we feel happy, or so some of you may have made moves earlier this year. You may be, coming into a move. The timing really depends on each of you and what your own soul plan is. But we're becoming more centered and more grounded through community as well. So this is a really great thing, because some of you that have been feeling more isolated are coming out of that, and it's safe for you to do so. It's actually really important for us to do so. And you're noticing in the collective people really coming together when there's emergency events. That's where it's more active. It's more like in your face, but they're also coming together for more positive situations as well. And that's the way we're really moving forward. So some of you may be finding people in your life that are more of your tribe, or meeting you where you're at. And if you aren't yet, try getting clear about what it is that you want in your life in terms of the kinds of people that you want. Because I guarantee you, if you can dream it, you can have it. There was somebody that I just met last night, really, really lovely, who opened up and said, wow, I was just wishing to have more dependable, lovely, enlightened kind of people in my life. And, we showed up. 3 of us showed up. So it's just, and we were just talking about how we wanted to build our tribe more. So it's happening. All you have to do is it's that simple intention to say, okay, that's what I want. Something else that's coming up for the collective is we're beginning to feel more valued, or we're finding it important to be valued. Our situations where we're working with clients, family members, partnerships of all kinds, love relationships where they're saying, love is gone for some of these. This is part of what's coming online for the community now. So it's okay, because some of you may be seeing people not showing up for appointments. This includes friends, clientele, sales prospects, however. And you may just, if you get honest and you sit back for a minute, you may go, I kind of didn't like them anyway, or I've shifted and that's just not something I want to put up with anymore. Totally okay. This is something that's This is a good thing. You may fight it for a little bit, but here's what I'm telling you, is those people are making room for the new to come in, because you got to let go of the old to bring in the new. You can't fully anchor in the new when you're hanging on to something else. You know, it's like with a relationship. If you know who it is that you want, you can't really have that until you're letting go of the old. I mean, it can happen lickety split, but it's just the moment you decide to let go of that. In terms of boundaries, something else we've been talking about, I feel like all year, people are being more of an advocate for themselves and speaking up for what they want. And many are more protective of themselves right now, in a good kind of way, in terms of knowing who to give what and when, and being our own best advocate and realizing, hey, these people aren't necessarily attacking us. It's an opportunity to, like they're not. It's something Lee Harris has talked about in terms of the narcissist and the empath, and I think that's a great analogy because they both have lessons for one another. And so part of boundaries that's coming up is in terms of giving and receiving. And so the overtaker will always teach the giver the importance of boundaries, and they're also teaching about, well, I mean, that's both vice versa, but there's also about the narcissist can really teach the giver about self-love, and self-importance. And we see that played out on a political stage at the moment. So it's interesting to see like the abuse of power going on there. And you can see all the different rays of light and the godly virtues coming, the shadow side of them coming up to light right now. And so, yeah, a lot of this is a trigger point for partnerships and relationships ending so that you can come into alignment with what you want. And it's going to come on so fast. It's going to come online really quickly. And that's going to be a lot of fun. People are ready for change, and people are feeling, the new timelines and the new relationships approaching. And this is really, really this is essentially go time starting this week, and including, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, you may start to notice this. You may see where people have come to a head with it, where people are like, man, I'm a little nervous about where things are going, but I just can't put up with this person over here anymore. And I'm going over here to, explore this route. So watch Wednesday and Thursday. They may be a little bit explosive, and that's okay. They're gonna get you put into better alignment so that you grow from a place of peace and joy rather than struggle. Struggle's on the way out. So there's some of you have had a lot of that coming up this year. It's coming to an end. You're washing it away, because for what's coming in 2018 is a really big energy. It's a potential energy. It's it's just, I love the feeling of it. So they want us in alignment with these things so that we can grow as a collective and really come more into our power. So I think it's really exciting stuff. In terms of some of these things ending, you're having people have a hard time too with keeping up with their soul contracts because they've come to an end, and not keeping up their end of the bargain, and getting a little angry and a little bit kind of feisty and angry. And if you don't focus on that, and you can see what's happening and it's ending, and you can focus on where it is that you're going, this will be an easier process for you. So, man, they're talking so much about relationships and partnerships right now. And part of that is because we're walking into Libra season this week, it's a good time. So, but we're bringing in the higher vibration partnerships, romantically and otherwise. And, something else is, we had a really good time during Mercury retrograde to review, whether you noticed this or not, it was the perfect time to review what kinds of people you wanted to be around, what kind of work you wanted to be doing, because they started talking about this, I think, in June, and things really came to a head where I said, I've got to do something different. I want to work in a different way. I want to work with different people. This is who I'm, working with. And so I let go of my old YouTube channel and opened up a brand new one where I'm still doing energy updates, but it's targeted to a larger collective. And so I think that's really important. In what way do I want to use my intuitive gifts and my healing gifts, and that sort of thing. So I decided to act accordingly, and this is what a lot of people are doing as well. Some of you are asking about when are things going to shift, when are things going to push, and it's starting this week. You'll notice a lot of shifts over the next 2 weeks. Some of you may be before October 1st, look back and go, what was that? Some of you may even, it may go into mid-October, but I really feel like before the 9th of October, things are going to be shifting in a really big way. Something else Spirit is saying is, how long are you going to drag things out? You have a choice to do that, but, you know, it's just, it comes from a fear of, you know, where are we going? So all these areas are areas that the 30 days of light can help you cope with the planetary energies that are coming in, and these upgrades. They come through, and some people have heard the words of, you know, with the frequency of the planet, with the solar flares, and that's what all this is. It comes through the sun, and this is all really great light to be received. Some people feel a little bit tired from it, and that's okay. There's certain bodily functions that you will notice that happen. They're sometimes more subtle than others. But the 30 days of light will help you with this. They are daily light transmissions to help you receive what's happening on a bigger planetary level with ease and grace. There are some people that have mentioned that they eat better. Some people that have noticed that they drop addictions without any kind of issues. Some people have breakthroughs in their businesses and finances and abundance and love. There are other people that notice that they have these mind loops and they suddenly stop. They come to a cease. And it's anything that you want. You get to set the intention at any time for where you'd like the light to go in your life. And it's great fun because the angels are around you for 30 days. And it includes prayers for you and that sort of thing. So also something else, if you're looking for self-work for what you can do, try aligning the heart line. If you're not sure about how that works, or what that is, I do have a class on that. This is what they're talking about when they talk about alignment or being in the vortex. Aligning this is aligning your light directly to source, and is what sets you up for being, at the right place, at the right time, the right frequency, in the right space of receiving. This is your heart line is your direct line to source and to miracles. And all of your relationships in life will come to a greater state of peace. And it's something you tend to want to align daily if you can. So, feel free to contact me if the Heartline course is something that interests you. And yes, also remember to subscribe to my channel and click the doorbell next to the subscribe button so that you can be notified of when a video is uploaded for you. So I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes. I wish you a really, really wonderful, great month. Please remember to like this video and to share with somebody if you feel like it may resonate with them, to help them understand a little bit about what's going on the planet. So one last thing, if you want to learn about the rays of light specifically and the colors, there's a course on that that's self-guided. So it's about 13 weeks long. And it comes with all the meditations that align you with the rays of light. And but yeah, so check out the links below. Want to say thank you. Lots of love to you. Bye.